After my initial test drive of what was then the all-new G70 rear-wheel drive, I had this to say. I like the G70, but I'm curious about the all-wheel drive model just to see how the driving dynamics change. Now that was nearly 3.5 years ago, but now I do have my chance with an all-wheel drive G70, this time on all-season tires in slightly milder conditions. While the automotive world fawns over the latest and greatest EV reveal, sitting just off stage is a handful of gas-fueled cars that feel as though they've been relegated to the island of misfit toys. No marketing dollars, little social media interest. If it's not an SUV or electrically powered, it might as well be labeled a legacy model. Now that's why the G70 is such a hidden gem. Now in its 5th model year and coming off of its first refresh, this is a luxury sports sedan bargain like none other. The base rear-wheel drive G70 with a 2-liter turbo can be scored for about $40,000. And then at the top end resides this all-wheel drive twin-turbo V6 fortified with the comprehensive Sport Prestige package for $56,445. At 20 mpg in combined driving on premium gas, fuel economy is not a G70 strong suit. But this 3.3-liter engine is set to high output, 365 horsepower and 376 pound-feet of torque, and with the assistance of launch control and all-wheel drive, the grip is capable of putting down a 0 to 60 time in the mid-4s. There's enough thrust here to really shove you into your seat. Adding torque vectoring all-wheel drive and a limited slip differential vastly improved the G70's handling dynamics, while still conveying a sense of rear-wheel drive friskiness. This car can be driven harder and more confidently than the first G70 I drove, though the turbo's boost still comes on very quickly, so stay alert. The new Sport Plus Drive mode delivers the most spirited experience by disabling traction control, in addition to putting the powertrain on full alert and tuning the suspension to its firmest setting. Riding on 19-inch wheels and staggered with all-season tires, the electronically controlled suspension does a beautiful job of maintaining a luxurious ride quality while also sharing more road feel when desired. The rear drive model is fitted with summer use rubber, which would do wonders here in furthering cornering prowess, so if you're serious about such things, it would be worth investing in some Michelin Pilot Sport 4s. Genesis discontinued the manual transmission option after the 2021 model year, but it's been the 8-speed automatic from the get-go for the G70 all-wheel drive, and it's a good one. With paddle shifters and downshift rev matching, it fires off quick gear changes and spawns some exhaust sound. The variable exhaust system opens wide in Sport and Sport Plus to combine with the synthetic sounds in the cabin, producing a convincing grumble while also contributing an extra 3 horsepower. And when dialed into those drive modes, the driver's seat side bolsters automatically grip a little harder to hold you in place. Brembo has been tasked with braking this 2-ton G70 and does so resolutely with a precise pedal feel. All-wheel drive is great for grip, of course, but can sometimes infringe upon the organic sports car driving experience by intervening too much. But with this G70 in sport mode, the front wheels only play a minor supporting role, imbuing the car with a controlled friskiness that I find to be more everyday friendly when compared with the rear-wheel drive G70. And it's a lot of fun to drive, with the highly excitable turbos and paddle shifters creating a high degree of driver engagement. And it's just as adept at luxury cruising thanks to the electronically controlled suspension. In this jaw-dropping Sevilla red Napa leather cabin, the G70 can be luxurious or devilish depending upon the driver's mood. Comfortable quilted seats, an exquisitely crafted atmosphere, and simple-to-use controls. I love the feeling of being behind the wheel. Quality touch points and robust convenience features are foundational to the sporty ambiance that's pervasive as soon as you open the door. A Genesis logo light carpet and a short musical composition greet occupants and lay the groundwork for a premium experience. Heated and cooled seats, a heated steering wheel, a power thigh extension for the driver, a wide sunroof, a 15-speaker Lexicon surround sound system, and a surround view monitor are model highlights. The acoustically laminated glass keeps the cabin relatively quiet considering its sporty nature. A hands-free power trunk has also recently been added. What the G70 doesn't have is much room. Rear seats are pretty tight even with the deeply positioned bottoms, and footroom can be non-existent, a persistent Genesis issue. It's also tricky getting in and out of the rear, so watch your noggin. The driver display is analog on the left, but digital on the right 2/3. That arrangement means the blind spot view monitor, triggered when signaling a lane change, is on the right side regardless of intended direction. There's also a fancy head-up display replete with Genesis logo animations and blind spot alert.
Infotainment system still requiring the use of a USB cable for phone projection. And as you can see, that is still the case here in this 2023 G70. But there's also another issue with needing this cable. So there's a really cool feature in all of their top-of-the-line systems called Sounds of Nature. Now, it used to be a standalone icon before I updated the system recently here on this car, and now it is located under the media heading. But when your phone is connected and you hit the media heading, what happens? It takes you to Apple CarPlay. So in order to get to the Sounds of Nature, you've got to unplug your phone, go back to media, and there it is, Sounds of Nature. Now they have contracted, I believe, with the composer who did the music for Squid Games to introduce a bunch of new Sounds of Nature features, like Moment of Meditation, Rainy Day's Been Here, Experience the Universe, Lively Forest is a carryover, On a Sailing Ship, and my personal favorite, this one here, called City at Dawn. It's a neat feature, but also a little problematic with the need for the use of a USB cable.
Considering its voluptuous output, alluring style, and stocked pantry of features and performance enhancers, the G70's sticker appears to be mislabeled. For those who still appreciate the principles of cunning handling, the physics of a low balance point, and the engineering proportioning athleticism with a soothing ride, then the G70 is calling. Now, it may be dialing from another area code, mind you, as Genesis dealers are still few and far between. But if a sporty car that can be driven every day, year-round, is on your shopping list, the G70 is a must-look. Projections have the G70 moving to an all-electric platform in 2025. Until then, enjoy the ride. It's a unique car at a phenomenal price. For TopSpeed.com, I'm Steve Hammis.